probably what makes you want to be here too.
Yeah, you can use the credibility one, the one for who we are, you know. Yeah. Thank you very much, guys. It's been a long time without being here. Every time I see everyone here in the podium, I was like, I have to do something to work with myself because, you don't want to be here every month, but you can do something for the next month for you to be better, right? So what I've been doing, I've been listening to Jen presentation. I think that's one of the best presentations that we have in the YouTube channel. So I've been hearing her a lot, and I've been using all her slides every time, and that's been helping me a lot. So, thank you, Jen. You've been the reason why I'm here. Okay, so I just want to let you know that, right? So thank you very much. So one of the things I do, because my community is a little bit different, so we don't really trust life insurance companies, and I focus a lot on who we are, right? So on what you see here, one of the first ones that I started putting emphasis is that we are in the New York Stock Exchange. I ask people, like, do you think any company can be in the New York Stock Exchange? And I let them answer. Most of the time they say no, right? I was like, yes, the government has to know who we are. They have to see our track record. They don't put any company in there. And I put examples of Apple, Microsoft, and other companies that are in the market, right? So that's the first seed that I use for people to know, like, hey, we are a legit company, like we are in the stock exchange. The second one is that we are doing business since 1977. So I ask people, because there's all these new companies that are coming out every now and then. So I ask them, if a company is in the market since 1977, is this a new company to you or is it an old company to you? Well, what do you think? And they told me, yes, it's a company that's been around. You have a track record. Like, exactly. That's who we are. Next, go to the next one. Yeah. Here, I take pride in here because this one, I tell my clients, like, this is something that we are very proud of. Just because we are one of the best life insurance companies for 2022. But do you know why we are the best company? First, because of customer service. We'll be with you every step of the way. We'll be with you. Second one, the one I focus is because we pay our claim. We do what we said we're gonna do. And then I use the seven life insurance company that are more likely to overcome COVID. I showed that to them. And I was like, you see, we hear that you have report on us. And people, they're like, okay. I was like, would you have any problem doing business with a company like this? And most of the time they say, no, I like it so far. So go to the next one. Next one. Yeah, here. Okay. So in this part, I use some of the things that Jen has said to us, right? So like I say, Jen is kind of the foundation of what I'm here, right? So what I do is I ask my clients, do you think you can build a building without a blueprint? And they tell me no. I was like, why? I said, because it will fall off. I said, of course. There's many people, sometimes they want to do things, but they don't have a plan. If you don't have a plan, everything that you want to do, it won't happen. You have to see it on paper first. That way you know that you know the time that's going to take for you to get whatever you want to get. There's people that take more time planning a birthday than planning their own finances. And they understand there, right? But one of the things that I do here is that part for Jen, when I explain what we do, we help families establish financial priorities, calculate net worth, and establish their financial independence number. I asked the question, what financial independence means to you? They told me. And I told them, or definition of that. But here, I asked them, we help you eliminate your debt because you don't want your kids to have your debt. You don't want your spouse to have your debt, right? And they say no. I was like, yes, that's why we help you on this debt coverage like life insurance. Then go to the next slide. Next one. Yeah, here. So here, one of the things I don't know if we kind of like selfish as a men, but when you show this, I think it helps open the eyes of a lot of men, right? Because we don't care much about life insurance, we care more about investing, right? So in this scenario, I asked them, like, you see how the way you get the money, every family get paid, but when they get paid, what happens with the money that they pay? And they told me it goes on bills. I was like, how different are these bills for most of the people around you? And they told me they are the same type of bills. Okay, I said, okay. What's the worst thing that can happen to your family financially? And they always say that they lose a job. I was like, okay, that's hard. So do you build stuff because you lose your job? They say no. You think of Bank of America or Wells Fargo, where you have your mortgage, you think they're going to call you, tell you, you know what, Mr. Klein, I know that you are good, you pay us every month. I know that you don't have to worry for the next couple months. You're having a rough time. Did they tell you that? I was like, no, they don't want to tell me that. I was like, of course. But that's a temporary loss. We understand that. But it's hard for your family. But imagine something more long term. Imagine your family, you as a breadwinner, you pass away. And then in there, they start thinking. I was like, how do you think this family is gonna feel? And there's like, oh, they're gonna have a hard time, trying to pay the bills. Okay, of course, because they need two salaries to make the house, but now they just have one. I was like, how important is your family security for you? And they said very important. Okay, I was like, okay. So, and they asked a trick question that we show us in this scenario. It's like, if something happens to you, do you want your family to be in a best style ways of life, same, or you want it to be like less, to have less than what you have now? They all the time they say they wanted to have a better situation or the same situation as, of course, everybody wants that, but sometimes we want to do things, but we don't know where to go or what to do, and that's why we're here. We want to teach you on how you can protect your family, and they understand that part, and that works brilliantly with what we've been doing. Oh, next one. I think this one also is very important, and the most important, because I asked them, when you start building a house, right? You're building your house. Do you start from the roof to the bottom, or you start from the bottom to the top? I was like, no, you start from the bottom to the top. I said, of course, your family, when you're helping, when you're building your financial house, like you can have all the plans for your family. Let's say you want your kids to go to college, you wanna pay your house, you wanna go to vacation. But if there's no income, none of that is possible. So that's why we help you protect your income. And then I asked them, like, when you're building a house, what do you think is what's the strongest part of the house that needs to, for the house not to crash, right? For your house not to stumble. And they say it's the foundation. Yes, the income protection is the foundation for your house. And that's why you need to protect it. So after here,
here's what I found online.
yeah, after here, yeah, that was it, right? So after here, I explain all the scenarios for the type of life insurance, and we have some examples of few policies. So I like to show the examples of policies that I have myself. I don't know if you guys have any policies for you. I show a policy of whole life. I tell them how it works, and I tell them if they will get something like that. I also show what I did for that client, so they see the contrast of what because people say, okay, what you're gonna give back, but when you explain that and you get that out of the get-go, and you show how much they have to pay to get that type of coverage, then they realize that's really expensive, right? And they don't want to get that. Also, I do the same thing with universal life. I explain, and I have a copy of a person that I switched to Primerica, and I showed the difference on pricing, and they realized that, the other company is a lot of money, right? But the team that I think is working for us the most is that we've been like the presentation is been working everybody, and you see how they get to understand how important it's for them to do it. At the end of the presentation, one of the things that I see that they have, the problem, the questions is the biggest one is like, they want to think about it. Okay, I like it and everything. I agree with you. So I asked them like, okay, what do you need to think about? And they told me there are scenarios, and I told them like, hey, you're not doing a decision tonight. I just wanted you to know we're just gonna apply to see if you. I don't even know if you're gonna get. I don't even know if they're gonna approve you, because when you apply for your loan for the house, did the Bank of America did they have to approve you for that? They were like, no, okay. And after they approve you for the loan, do you need it to get the loan exactly from Bank of America? And say no, it's the same here. The good thing is after you apply, you're gonna have coverage all the way to the end. So it takes 3 to 4 weeks, and that's gonna be the time that you need for you to think about it. But like I say, everything that when I see with a client, everything that I do myself is I use the Jen's presentation. When someone doesn't have a life insurance, that's kind of the tricky part, right? When someone doesn't have life insurance, go to the slide where it says no coverage. Okay, so here, this is the one that I use when someone doesn't have a coverage, but I myself, this one, I move it, the first one, I move it to the bottom part because I think it's too strong to start with somebody. So what I do is I change the slide here and I ask them, usually when someone as responsible as yourself, when they don't have life insurance, it's for one of these 3 reasons, right? And they ask like, you didn't think you could afford it, you didn't get around to it. And then at the end, I was like, oh, you didn't, if you don't think about it, there's a lot of people out there that they don't care about their family. They're like, you know what, it's okay. I know that they're gonna try to survive. Nobody helped me, so I think they can do fine. But I know this is not you, Mr. Customer, no? So I scratch that part and I tell them, which one of the first 2 is the one that goes more with you? So the wife is there, she's looking. So they think in that moment, they're like, okay, I think it's the first, I did the second. So, okay, so yes. And then that's it, in that moment, that's when they realize that they need life insurance. I also do the different quotes, tell them what is their budget, and I tell them the idea of this is to make sure that we are in the range of what they need and what they can afford. And then we start working with it. So that's kind of what we do. And every time it works perfect for us. You guys have any questions?
Good job, dude.